A few weeks ago, I went off on a bit of a scouting mission, hoping to find something interesting close to home that I could photograph, either the location itself or one of my cars in that location. And this particular one was a rooftop car park at Melbourne's International Airport. Now, I'd been wanting to photograph one of my cars on a rooftop car park for some time, but getting access to the ones that I'd scouted was often difficult. They were often full, and sometimes shut down because idiots had been doing burnouts up on the rooftop. But this one at Melbourne's International Airport is open 24/7. And so I didn't have particularly high hopes for it, but I was curious to see what sort of photographic opportunities it presented. So I went up there in my Cayenne, and on first blush it looked pretty uninteresting. Just a row of parking bays with a few cars and some concrete barriers. But it kind of proved to me once again, and I often forget this, that if you just spend a bit of time walking around, preferably with your camera in hand, looking at different sections of a location, then opportunities emerge. And by the time I'd finished spending a couple of hours up there, I came away with what I think are some of my favourite images of a car for all of 2025 of my Porsche Cayenne. The light was beautiful. The particular scenes that I was able to capture, I think, worked really well with that light. And I was really, really pleased. But I didn't film any of that. So I thought it would be great to go back there with the Boxster and try and capture something similar and film a bit of it while I'm at it. Trouble was, the light wasn't anywhere near as good. I couldn't stay as late, and it was really harsh, bright light, and I was photographing a white car. But I think what I proved on this little expedition was that you can actually get interesting photographs in the worst lighting conditions if you position yourself and your subject, in this case my car, thoughtfully. And so that's what I hope you get from this video, is to see that even in a very boring, mundane urban location, if you think about what you're doing and you walk around and you look at different scenes through the lens of your camera, different focal lengths if you can, different heights, different positions, then you can come away with some interesting photos. So rather than crap on with this intro any further, I'll leave you to watch the video. Hopefully you'll agree with me by the end of it that you can get nice photos in terrible bright light in a boring urban location. All right, so this is where I shot the Cayenne about a week ago. We're gonna have a crack at it with the Boxster and see how we go. Ooh, see now this is what I wanted, was this dramatic light. Yeah, this is kind of what I like. I didn't think I would like this, but I loved this when I was here the other day. This dramatic light. All right, CPL. What can I do with you? Not much. A little bit down the side. That's about it. Does that give me tail lights? Yes. Oh, beautiful. That's what I want. Oh, this light is cool. It's really harsh. I love the shadows coming towards the camera. Oh, almost. Did I get that plane in? I think I did get that plane in the shot. Now, what about dead rear on now? What do we got? 100 mil. I've got a few intrusions in the background. I'll have to get rid of those with Photoshop. I'm shooting straight into the light. What can I get rid of with my CPL? Almost nothing. All right, F4, 125th. Bit of flare. Yeah, it's a little bit hazy. Now I want to go wide, because that's one thing I liked about these photos last time. Yeah, going wide. Sometimes going wide is the answer, I tell you. We think, you know, we always need to get in tight on the car, but Oftentimes a really wide shot that gives context, like I said, gives context about the area, can be great. And when you're shooting directly into the sun, give yourself plenty of latitude for exposure. You're always better off underexposing it. You can pull up the shadows later. I guess not that far under, but I am underexposing a bit, so I can pull out that cloud detail later. All right, so we're going for straight into the sun, long lens, wide shot though, as in wide field of view, dramatic light, underexposed, so I can pull back the highlights later. f6.8, 1/80th of a second, ISO 50. Let's try off to one side. This is what it's like. This is what it's always like for me. I always think it's going to be calm and relaxing and meditative. And then it's like, oh, look at the light. Oh, look at that shot. It's always the way. Let's walk around to the front of the car. Can I make you darker? Yes. Let's walk around to the front of the car and see what we can get over there. All right. Man, it's bright. I'm not used to walking around without sunnies. It's killing me. All right, we don't really have a shadow side of the car yet until the sun comes around a bit more. Now see how stark and nasty this is? But yeah, not a fan of front lighting a car. Unless the sun is really low and really soft, I'd rather have the car backlit or diagonally lit where I'm shooting into the shadow side. Always looks more dramatic for me. That's what I like. Your mileage may vary. I think I want to put it over in that corner. Over in that corner there. And see what I get with that. Because it's kind of dramatic, you know what I mean? Maybe a 1-to-1 crop at 35mm. No, I think if I do this needs a 21. I'm going to shoot it quickly with a 21. Needs to be much wider. Still using this KNF concept bag, but I'm starting to think I need to go back to something bigger again because there's a few more things I want to carry around with me. This bag fits absolutely everything now, but if I add another 1 or 2 things, then it's too small. And one thing I have no shortage of is camera bags. I've got way too many of them. You may as well call me Imelda Marcos. All right. This might work as a 21. Beautiful lens, this. Love this lens. What do I want? How's it look as a 3x2? I'll have to Photoshop my own shadow out of it. CPL, yeah, that looks kind of cool. F8, 60th, ISO 50. Bit not really my taste, but sometimes you take a photo and you go, nah, that's nothing. Then you get it back in post and you go, oh, actually, that happens quite a bit. I might put these headlights on. I think they'll add a bit of drama, especially pointing straight into the light. But I think I need the engine running for that. So,
narrow its focus.
Yep. Okay, that shadow's just about to creep across the left side of the car, as you can see. So I want to get this before that happens. So as you tilt downwards when you're facing a car, the car gets shorter. And as you tilt upwards, the nose gets longer. Make sure you control your reflections with a CPL. And, you know, it'll come down then to composition, framing, and lines and all that sort of stuff. Dramatic lines and light and shade in harsh light can actually be awesome. Can actually be really cool. And this is the thing with car photography and landscape photography. You only find out You only get these really cool shots, well, reasonably cool shots. You only get cool shots when you experiment. It's the best thing to do is experiment. There's no substitute for just rooting around and trying stuff. Focusing on the headlight. If in doubt what to focus on at the front of a car, go for the headlight, because the headlights are the eyes. Yeah, that's pretty dramatic. Hopefully this shows you can still get decent photos in a pretty boring location, a rooftop car park, in harsh, bright light. Sometimes harsh light with a car can actually be fun, can be really quite dramatic. I mean, look behind now. Look how cool that looks with that shadow pulling away from the car. You know, that looks cool. Anyway, hopefully you like the shots, hopefully you enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye for now.